U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy is calling for a warning label to be placed on social media sites. In an opinion piece in the New York Times, Dr. Murthy cited the mental health crisis among young people as a major reason behind the need for labels. He also hopes Congress will pass legislation to shield young people from online harassment, abuse, and exploitation. With me in Studio 57 for more on this is CBS News' Jared Hill. So what are the major takeaways from this op-ed?
Yeah, so Lindsay, the big one here is that the Surgeon General is calling for this warning label, like we've seen on tobacco and alcohol products, to say that social media sites, these platforms are, in his words, not proven to be safe for adolescents. And he's citing some data here that shows that adolescents who use social media more than 3 hours a day end up having twice of a likelihood of having symptoms of depression as well as anxiety. Remember, 3 hours is the number that they're looking at. Most kids in that age group are spending about 5 hours a day on social media. He also, though, is acknowledging that this warning label would really only be a reminder for families, for kids, as they're trying to suss out how to use social media. But he also wants for Congress to take some steps. That includes things like limiting the amount of sort of scroll time that you can have. Also wants to make sure that Congress enacts some laws that says that these social media companies have to turn over the data that they have related to the health and safety of the platforms, something that right now is not happening.
When you think about, as adults, sometimes how we feel after seeing the highlight reels on Instagram, you don't feel great all the time. You imagine the teenagers who are spending 3 to 5 hours on this thing, and they, maybe they don't have the tools yet to regulate. But you mentioned Congress. I mean, we've seen these warnings on tobacco. We've seen them on alcohol. Can the Surgeon General do this, or does he need Congress?
No, he does need Congress to do this. And actually, there's some research showing that from the time that the Surgeon General first put out a warning about tobacco back in 1957, it took about 10 or so years for Congress to actually enact a law that had that warning label on there. Now, we've seen a lot of momentum, or at least discussion, in the past couple of years around this issue with social media and kids. The question is going to be whether Congress can actually get behind something like this together and pass a piece of legislation, because it would have to be bipartisan.
So I want to ask you about that really quick. But first off, because I just thought about what you're talking, when people go on these social media apps, do we know yet what it's going to look like? I mean, is it essentially like before you can interact with it, you have to
So we don't know yet. He hasn't really talked too much about what the design for this would look like. We do know that there are already some restrictions on some of these social media platforms that for people of a certain age group, after a certain amount of time on them, there's a box that pops up and says, you must input this code to continue. One of the criticisms with a lot of this is that kids can just put the code in, or the kids can download the thing with their parents' information. And that allows for them to get around some of these guardrails, which, again, is why they're saying that this warning label would really just be a reminder for these families, for these kids, and this not necessarily being the fix there.
So we were talking about Congress. We have Senators Blumenthal and Blackburn, bipartisan today, coming out with statements. What did they say? Yeah,
so they're saying here that they support the general idea of this. But again, as long as this goes with some sort of legislation that has some teeth, legislation that would actually force the social media companies to take some steps to actually go forward. We see here that they're saying they're pleased that the Surgeon General put out this recommendation here, but they want to make sure that this goes with their Kids Online Safety Act, which is the bill that they've been pushing really to try and get for the social media companies to have some level of accountability, as well as really elicit some sort of change in regulation in this space. But again, the big question with all of this is, with the Congress as divided as it is, and with us going toward an election, will they actually be able to put something into place?
Right, especially if you were saying labels on cigarettes took, 10 years? I mean, is there an idea, a sense that this is urgent for Congress, or do you feel like sort of going to be on the back burner with everything else?
So that's always the hard question here, is can they act on something that is not seemingly imminent? We'll have to wait and see as Congress comes back from some of their summer recesses, whether they can actually put something into play in the fall. On top of that, though, a lot of this does kind of get bogged down in some of the politics because of the fact that, especially when we're talking about social media, there can be a bit of a divide between Republicans and Democrats in what particular aspects of social media regulation and policy need to be put into place with these types of bills. And so, again, the question is going to be who can get behind this, especially in the Senate where you would need the 60.
Like every other issue, they don't agree on everything. Jared Hill, thank you so much.
Thank you.